Hi, guys. So I've been kind of doing a deep dive into myself this last week. It was kind of hairy for a few minutes or days, but I got through it. And luckily, I have the grace of God, and He's very merciful to His children, especially me. So, but He's that way for everybody, I think, if you let Him be. Um, this deep dive that I took me to all kinds of different hidden places that I didn't know I still had some areas to work through in. And luckily, I was able to really go and take a look at that and get through it, come out the other side in a better place, much better place. So during these kind of self examinations, I'm looking into my the good parts and the bad parts. Um, Often I come out at the other end with just a totally unrelated understanding. I don't know how that works, but it just happens. So, thinking about my grandparents a lot lately, and one in particular has been on my mind, and she was the mother of my harsher dad. It's hard to remember sometimes when you see somebody that is an abuser or a murderer or somebody that has done things that are hard towards other people, that they have a mom and they have a dad and they have siblings most likely, and they have other people that have been around them their whole life. Well, my grandmother was nothing like him. She was a proud woman. She was self-made up to a certain point in her life when she got sick. She was a partial business owner of a popular restaurant here in town back in the day. And then she got sick. She had, I think it was 25 heart attacks inside of a week. And then she got a pacemaker, but that took all of her wealth away. She was left living in a trailer and having to sell everything that she had acquired to cover her medical expenses. And then she couldn't keep her portion of the business. She had to sell that too. So then she was left kind of doing what she knew. She was a hard woman. She wasn't a softie like me. She was a hard woman. But she was also an atheist, which was weird for me because I never really understood that. I mean, I can see the perspective. I just can't identify with it. Anyways, when she was in her, I want to say late 40s, she was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS. I can't say the actual medical term. I don't want to even try. But her particular case was rapid. From the time of diagnosis to the time of death, I want to say was about a year. And that, for ALS, that's relatively rapid. In that time, she was kind of forced. This very independent woman was forced to seek out help from others. And the people she knew were all very busy people. They didn't have the time to come and help her. So she called on one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? One of the people you would least suspect. She called on my mom, who was the ex-wife of her son, who had been dead for, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years. So, and he left this world in a murder suicide. So it wasn't anything that she was very happy with dealing with. I mean, for a prideful woman who becomes the mother of a murderer, it's shame, But she had gone through a lot in her life too. She wasn't really open to discuss her battles, but I know she went through a lot. Anyhow, in the time where she was coming closer to the end, she called on my mom to be an assistant to her because she needed help doing pretty much everything. And her hair was bothersome to her. She wanted it all off. She really wanted her head just shaved. my mom was pretty decent at giving a haircut. Came over and did that for her. But the cool thing is there was an opportunity that my mom was able to see during that time to maybe talk to her about God. And um, she was closed at first, but the more often she came over, she would sneak her cigarettes and stuff because she wasn't allowed to smoke anymore because, it's not a very good recipe if you have a disease like that. But she would sneak her over a cigarette and they would talk about God and drink coffee. And before she passed, she came to Christ. She became a believer at the end of her life. And I thought that was a really special thing. And, I just think that if we see those opportunities and seize them and use them for what they are, then we can really make a difference. I'm not the type of person that would be, how they have that scale of, well, there'll be a ruler of 10,000 and 550 and whatever. I don't know how that goes. To be able to work with somebody one-on-one and have a real impact on their life and on their eternal salvation, I think that would be a much higher honored position to me. I just think that, if you can be that one person that can make that connection one-on-one with somebody, take it. Not everybody is willing to receive it, but some are. And how do you know if you don't try? I had a fear of trying originally with my father-in-law. It was just my own fear because I knew the kind of hard man that he was. And I was scared to come to him and say, hey, can I pray with you? Have you ever been curious about God? And he was receptive and open to it and listened to me. And I wasn't preaching to him. I was just letting him know that whatever he's done, he just needs to repent and ask for forgiveness. And that's that's the first steps. And for some, that might be all it takes. I don't really know. I can't judge that for everybody. I know for me, there's a lot of work involved. But if you're on your deathbed, what more options do you have than to, you're already in your mind, I would imagine. Anyway, so he was able to come to Christ too before he died, and that was a very special blessing for him. And I was blessed because of the power that everybody could feel in the room when he left. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Anyways, I'm going to probably leave that here. And there's some other things that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to make a different video for that because it's deserving of its own time. So anyways, I love you guys, and I hope you're all having a really good day. Take care. Bye.